El Turbo World Headquarters, Turbo. Just a bit of an update. We've had winter going on, so changed the job, gave the FIFO away, and working back in Perth now full time, which is fantastic. One of the best moves I've ever made. So get a lot more shed time. Unbelievable. So just a quick update. The Diff was a bit buckled and bent after the season. The car got parked up, and we always had a few little issues with niggling issues with that Diff. It leaked through a few pinholes, and it came supplied with the car when we got it, so we just utilised what was there. But we found its weaknesses through the runs that we did get on it. Motec power, 13B power. Bent it like a banana pretty much. All the back bracing and falling brackets were bent. It tried to rip the face plate out of the Diff from the bottom out, so luckily I was able to pass it off to Clint at SRM, and he took it on as a shop job for me. So he's done a magnificent job. I've got a bit of footage there I might be able to throw in of it sitting on his bench out there, and a bit of shit talk. But yeah, he was able to do doublers for me, fix it all up, new chrome ollie across the base with the support struts, and cut and shut the plates back so that they are straight, and redo the third member mounting plate. The studs are a little bit munted, so I'm just going to run through, and I've done most of them now. Got them all nice. Not one of them did up really, and so I've got two left to do. I'll just run the die down those, and we'll get it back in the car. So yep, we'll just do a quick time lapse and let you have a look. El Turbo SRM World Headquarters today. Here with me little mate. He hates it. I love it. I gave him this absolute bucket of shit. Looked like it had been, I don't know, dropped out of an airplane. And he's managed to do miracles with it. So, thanks little mate. Your sticker can stay on the car this year, mate. Oh fuck, thanks. No, he's worth his weight in gold. If you know SRM, you know some of the shit that Clint does is pretty Hollywood stuff. So he was well worth dropping it off to have a look at. So he's got us back on the track. SRM for the win. Pretty good at what he does. Got a barra in it. Turbo World Headquarters Turbo. Just a bit of an update. I probably just need a bit of continuity here for the diff that I was putting in at the time when the video ended. Fuck the settings up, so missed the time lapse for the diff going in, but that's all in now, so it's pretty much all buttoned up. So that's all good. I had another couple of little issues that we needed to address. The clutch seal, well, I had a little bit of a gearbox leak on the clutch area from the bottom of the bell housing, and it was a little bit of a worry. I just thought it might have been leaking out of the G-force has a little cap that goes between the two cases. It's a bit of a bearing cap, so I assumed it was just coming out of there, and I hadn't put enough goo on it, but it ended up being one of the seals on the front of the input shaft. So just rides on here. It's just a little seal that goes in front of the cap. So fucking lucky I pulled that apart. It's coming out of the fucking seal. This one was leaking, so it was a good find. It was always just an incessant leak that was always there. Always had a little bit of stuff showing, but over the period where it was parked up, sat on the hoist on a little bit of a slight wood down angle, so it's a bit of the remnants of where it was leaking from. So it was all collecting in the bottom of the bell housing, and it was always just showing bits of leakage on the bottom of the chassis rail. So it's good to find that and get it sorted. So we've got in there, cleaned all the flywheel up. It had leaked a little bit into the plates and settled in there. So basically just having a day cleaning up the clutch, which I've done now. I did that off camera. So good old direct clutch. Thanks Jerry, mate. This thing's been a weapon. So quite capable of running sixes with these. So we're just that's what we've got at the moment. We can't fit a slider in this car. It was never built for it, so we're stuck with a lockup. But the quality that the guys up at Direct have with these things is well worth the money and the investment if you want to try to go fast on a lockup. So we've cleaned out the bell housing, found the leak. I'll replace that seal and pop it back in the car. I've got a spare tail shaft now from when we had the other issue. So as your program progresses with these cars, your spares catalogue seems to grow as you find the weakest parts. So it's always good to have something in the trailer to go if you've had issues before. But we've got a new tail shaft ready to pop in it. So thanks to the boys at Road Emotion, they just had to modify the yoke for me a little bit. We've always had a modified yoke on modified Sonics on the one I've always run, just a shortened version. So when they come standard, we just mill them down a bit. But yeah, she's pretty much a good thing. Just waiting on some injector data from Motec. I've done a decker change on the lower injectors on these, taking the 800s out just to try to get a bit of idle quality and airspeed into it at low RPM. Had an issue at the Western Nationals on the starting line up against Errol where Errol was in stage. I had the top bulbs on and then it stalled. And it's one of the most embarrassing things because it basically burnt down Errol, and it was no fault of my own. The car just wouldn't refire. So I tried to kick it in on the starter just to get the bulb on for him, but I timed out 7 seconds, so he got the win. But luckily for him, I think he blew a boost pipe on sitting there for 7 seconds. Blew a boost pipe off sitting there for 7 seconds. So sorry, Errol, if you ever get to see this, it was unintentional. Just we had some low speed injector issues with it. I assume that's what it is. We'll see if that's fixed now. So once Motec get back to us, I'll load that data in. It should fire up and run pretty good, hopefully. If not, I'll just go back to the 800s and assess the tune on it and just see what's going on with it. And it should be ready to go for the 3rd. So it's just a testing tune for us. They have moved the start date for the season from the 30th of October to the 6th of November now. They've had a bit of a cancellation date, so it's stuffed us a bit. We can't get to the opening round. It was all pretty much perfect for the 30th, but that's just the way life goes. I've given, as you've heard, I've given up the FIFO, so I still have to get. I still work rostered working, and I still work weekends and stuff like that. So I still need to navigate through meets, but I'll be at a lot more meets than I could ever do when I was FIFO. And so hopefully we'll be able to get in and get some good quality track time with the car. So that's what it needs. That's what I need. And that's about it for the update. So hopefully when I get the info from Motec, I'll fire it back up again and we'll do a little bit of an update there on maybe the Motec and how the tune goes in it and how that all works. So something I've never really introduced on the channel, so it's probably a good thing that we might try that one next and show you how it goes with that Motec, because it's a killer deal. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, eh?